You're watching BBN Tonight on your official UK sports station, LEX 18.
Welcome back to BBN Tonight. We've been talking a lot about the Kentucky connections on the court in this week's NBA Finals.
Yeah, but off the floor, ex-Cat Pat Riley is the Heat's president, and the Lakers are coached by Frank Vogel. For more on Vogel's UK connection, I spoke with Tim Asher. He's the coaching video coordinator for Kentucky basketball.
When I first met Frank Vogel, he was a manager with Bill Kitely. He was actually one of the managers out there on the floor, wiping up sweat and doing all the little small jobs that you see all of our managers do these days. Frank wouldn't take no. He's one of those kids that, you could say no to him, and then he would come back the next week and say, "Hey, man, you got any time for me now?" Or, he was one of those guys that you could tell he's very intelligent. He knew the game of basketball, and he had a passion for it that is unique. They come along occasionally where you'll know that these kids are going to be successful. And Frank was one of those guys that I knew was going to be successful just because of his work ethic, part of that which he learned under Bill Kitely. And second of all, he learned some technology things from me. And obviously he left UK whenever Rick took the job at Boston. And he went as the assistant video coordinator, even though at the time he was not very computer literate as far as the editing programs go and stuff. And a little story that is interesting is that after Rick took the job with Boston, I got a call from Frank. And he asked me, "Hey, man, is there any way over the next 2 weeks that I'm in town before we leave, you can teach me how to edit?" I was like, "Frank, I need an hour to get you to learn how to do this." Because I knew he was very intelligent and knew the game of basketball. And once I laid out the computer part of it, then he would pick it right up.
Has there been a point where you've had a chance to catch back up with him? Is he just both of you busy with your own things?
That's the great thing about Frank is he stays in touch. I have his phone number in my phone and could call him today, and I know he would pick up or at least call me back within a couple hours. He came back, I guess this was 2 seasons ago, to UK. He stopped by the video room. We talked a little while. I had a surprise for him, and the surprise was I still had a big poster type sign that he had made and put in the video room. And I believe that was 1996 or 1997. Basically, the sign says, the will to win is nothing without the will to prepare. And it was a little quote that he put on a sign and had it put up. And it's still in our video room today. When he stopped by during those couple days and we were sitting around just talking, I said, "Man, you need to sign that thing." So he got up on our counter and actually physically signed the sign.
That's awesome. All right, so obviously a lot of Wildcats in the finals. Does Frank kind of push you towards the Lakers?
Obviously, the Lakers have some guys on that team that I'm very fond of. Anthony Davis is one of the greatest kids we've ever had at UK. And I'm not talking about his basketball skill. Obviously, in the basketball skill, he's very, very, very talented. But Rondo was a huge favorite of mine. And so those two guys are out there on the floor making plays for a former graduate assistant who worked for me. So the Lakers, I probably have to go with the Lakers, but man, I got to tell you, Bam is one of my top 2 or 3 guys that I've ever loved that came through our program. And Tyler Hero is in that top 5 too. I mean, really, really good dudes. And let's not forget about Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Pat Riley is old school and I love him. He's been to a bunch of our practices. He's been to a bunch of our games, and he's a real dude. I like him a lot.
Great insight from Tim, who also said that they started that JV program for Nazir Muhammad. But Frank Vogel also played on that despite also doing the other things.
I'm sure Frank took Nazir down one-on-one for sure. Stay with us. You're watching BBN Tonight.